Hi, Bhavin. How are you?
Jay.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Uh, Hello, everyone present over here. Bhavin, I can see 15 people live.
Okay.
Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes
Yeah, sure.
so more people can join and we shall begin then, right?
Of course. That sounds good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, anyone from attendees can test our voice if it is clear or having any trouble. Do our screen visible or not? Can anyone confirm, please? Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
That's great.
That's great. Yeah. So I think we should begin without wasting much of the time because we do have a lot things to cover.
Yep.
Sure. Cool. Cool. Let's start then. So, uh, hello, friends. Very good evening, good morning, because I can see much of the audience is coming from various various different places. So, guys, we can bake to you to with having a new and wonderful topic that is understanding the pricing element to kickstart your web to print business. Here, in which we will be covering pricing techniques for your stores with examples, not also the pricing techniques, but also the budgeting concerns that any businesses are suffering from kickstarting their web to print business, whether they are offline, whether they are online, and whether they want to expand something. So we're gonna cover this many of the things. So let's quickly look around the agendas that we gonna have. For example, we will in today's session of 45 to 50 minutes, you'll about to learn importance of right pricing and budgeting of your businesses, how unplanned business model challenges you and can lead them to failures, uh, identification to the right budgeting to kickstart your businesses, what product you should offer, and how competitive pricing you should have to keep and grow in current competitive market, and in this certain things how brochure ideas can help. So today I have Bhavin, which is customer success representative at Brochure Ideas with me, and Bhavin will take you forward with some of the topics, and will share his expertise over talking with the customers and dealing in the sales way. So let's first listen to Bhavin, what he has to share. Yeah, Bhavin.
Thanks, Jay, for handing over to me. First of all, a warm welcome to all of you. I hope you all are well and safe at your places. As told by Jay, today me and Jay would be helping you to understand on this topic in detail. By end of this session, you will have more clear idea about the pricing elements and you will be able to work on your actionable plans. While going through the session, in between, if you have any questions, then please feel free to put your questions on the chat section. We will address all of your questions at the end of session while doing Q&A. So let's quickly begin with the first element, that is importance of right pricing and budgeting. So let us first understand why this is important and what are the consequences if this is not planned properly. With the market research, below are some findings which helps us to understand more in detail. So the very first tells us that 16% of businesses fails due to improper budget planning or over under budgeting. While starting a business, if there is improper budget planning, like what is your total budget, what are the areas where you need to allocate that budget, if this is not planned properly, then you might go near to the failure. For an example, you are starting an online business, you are having X amount of total budget, and you are gonna split up that budget on different areas where it is needed. Let's say some budget is allocated for building an e-commerce website, some budget is allocated for having a personalizing software on your website, some of the budget is also allocated for customer support and after sales processes, but you haven't allocated any budget on the marketing side. What would happen? Due to this, you would not be able to present your products or promote your products to your targeted audience. Your store might look good, your products are nice, prices of products are very competitive, but it is not getting noticed by your customers. So you won't have that traffic on your website, and people would not be able to know that some website like this even exists. Vice versa, more budget is invested on marketing side, but less budget is allocated for your online store or for the personalizing software, which would eventually not provide a good user experience to the visitors. Features might be less, UX driven approach might be missing, then customers might go away and avoid coming back. So this is even worse. Then 34% businesses fails due to product is not market fit in terms of features and pricing. So now here there could be two scenarios. The very first is product are not fit in terms of features, and second is they are not fit in terms of the pricing attached. So with the first scenario, you can easily understand by taking an example of a apparel product wherein you have not added sufficient color options or the options which are really in demand. So you are not giving those options, then customers might not come, or if they are coming, they might not have a feeling to buy that product because the demand which is there, it's not there on your product. Then with the second scenario, if you haven't done the competitive analysis, you're not knowing that what prices are running for the product which you're selling, then you might end up putting up a wrong price which might be high or which might be very low. So your prices are not very competitive, and that might bring a loss to you. You should know your competitors, you should know best market prices to get good sale. So here you need to do competitive analysis to understand this particular area. Then 22% businesses face due to improper allocation to marketing budget and strategies. One thing we need to remember that with marketing, good strategies are also required. You all know that currently we are able to see multiple channels which helps you to drive traffic to your web store. So while moving forward with marketing plans, right strategies should be formed with respect to the product, and you should choose right channel to advertise or promote, so it can bring good traffic to your store and which can be eventually converted to sale. If strategies are not made properly, then you might end up losing money on marketing, and return of investment would not be as expected. You should have a strategy to win the market. So strategy part needs to be worked out well. With above, if we sum up the ratio, then 9 out of 10 businesses fails to survive, and the major contributor here is financial planning and fund allocation. Now let's look at some real life examples or case studies which can give us more idea. These three are the companies which can be taken as an example to learn. Very first is Metafab. So this company was into 3D metal printing and they had their own machineries to do the printing job. This company received very good investment as a startup in 3D printing industry, but due to a wrong business model, their business eventually ended up. They were into B2B business model, and they had their business through the marketplace, but they did not survive, and all of their investment was going down, and they lost a lot of money putting up there. Second example is Inksedge. So they were into card printing. They were specialized with birthday cards, invitation cards, Christmas cards, etc. They also got good amount of seed funding, but they were unable to allocate funds properly due to improper budget planning. Yes, so they made a mistake of not planning budget properly, where to put and what amount of budget should be kept. Their operational work was not allocated proper budget. Due to this, like, they were having good traffic on their website, they were having customers on their website, and they were having good orders as well, but the operational department was not able to deliver work properly. And even the founders of this company were having partnerships in other companies as well, so they were not able to give their full time to the startup, and their employees, of course, they are not able to do the job of a founder, and that eventually failed their business. The third example is Yakima Bindari. This is 115 years old company which eventually failed. You can see here that this is a company which is holding more than 100 years of experience. So it's very important to know what was the reason behind their failure. So here, the reason behind their failure was not adapting the market and doing business traditionally. They did not had any online stores or automated approaches, and they did business traditionally in the sense of doing offline and handling each and every process manually. With time, every business came online, had an automated approach, and that helped them to make their product prices very competitive, wherein Yakima stayed offline. And with time, of course, the wages per hour were going high. Due to that, their profit margins were going down, and they eventually increased their price, and that ended up starting to lose customers. You can easily calculate here that how much of savings you can make by going with an automated approach. The labor charges, which are currently you all are aware of, and you can simply calculate that how much money you can save, or how much budget you can save there, which can be invested somewhere else. This can help you to bring your product prices fair with good profit margins, and this can also give better user experience and convenience to your customers. Now let's look at what are the factors which are leading you to failure. The very first is invest more to gain more. This is a wrong myth. This is a myth which is everywhere, but this is not correct. In the current time, you need to plan your investment, you need to do research, and you need to allocate proper investment or proper budget to the areas where it is required. Traditionally, the scenario was different. There were less number of choices, and you were knowing that putting up a business here and putting up an investment here, you would definitely get good return. But now there are a lot of options, a lot of channels where you need to figure out the investment. Let's say, for an example, you want to build a website, and for website there are a lot of frameworks available, and with each framework the prices might also change. So where to invest and how much to invest, that decision is very important, and for that you need to make research. Then second is lack of proper budget planning. So we have seen in the past slide that how a budget improper budget planning ends up putting you in a trouble. So here you need to plan up your budget very properly. You need to do research. You need to first calculate that what is your total budget. Then you need to split up that budget onto the areas where it is required. The third is one of the important factor which you need to look, that while checking the areas, many areas are unidentified. I'll just explain you with an example. Let's say you are starting a business. You have thought of the areas where the investment needs to be made. Let's say building your store, bringing the inventory, having a personalizing software, putting up the money on marketing. So that's it. You are making your platform ready, but you have not seen that customer support area is also important. That is also an area where you need to invest. So that area is unidentified, and that can eventually bring more trouble, because when you are starting, customer support department helps you very much to serve your customers very well when they are facing any problems, because on the startup you might come up with a lot of problems for your customers, like while delivering the products, or let's say the experience on the on your website. So at each and every point, customer support can really help. So the areas like this you need to identify, and you need to figure out what are the areas, and then you need to plan it accordingly. Then the impact of market research and predictions. This is also very important. You need to first do the market research. With this, you would be able to know what is the demand and who are your competitors. That would help to decide how you can plan the strategies and how you can promote your products and make your space between all your competitors. The predictions would also help you to plan for longer period of time. Then there is a point, that is lack of proper product pricing methods. Yes, so if your pricing methodologies are not good, then also you may end up with troubles. You need to know that how you need to figure out your prices, either through giving discounts or having bulk prices, or having a bundled prices. You need to figure out that how you need to make your space between the competitors, and how you need to figure out your product pricing. Product pricing plays a very important role, because when you are putting up your website in front of your customers, if your pricings are good, it can really be a deal breaker. Then the last is lack of decision making. You may have a lot of discussions with a lot of people. A lot of people might consult you many things, but if you are not able to make a decision on right time, then also that can bring you to a trouble. Because when you think that, you first need to evaluate what are the pros and cons, and then even if you are not able to figure out that in what direction you need to go, then too you can bring a trouble for you. Now I would hand it over to Jai to explain more in detail on further topic. Yeah, Jai, please.
Yeah, thanks, Bhavin. So, thank you very much, Bhavin, for sharing your insight on challenges and types of failures where businesses are strictly rely on consultation and proper planning. And meanwhile, we do have a polls run in between, and in one of the poll, we asked them that have you ever failed in your business ideas just because of unplanned budgeting? Three out of four said yes, they have failed. And the second poll we do have is have you ever invested to strategize your complete business plans and you do feel any difference in success? Then there is an equal answer. One is say yes and one is no. So let's talk about solutions in a more precise way, so that these challenges can be easily sorted for you. So let's start with initially with identification of the right strategy to kickstart your business. I have enlisted six most important elements, we can say, to identify what could be the right set of combination of different strategies to kickstart your businesses and make your businesses uh, with high number of security and less number of risk. So initially, let's begin with first one. First one is you should identify the segments who need a budget allocation. For example, you should aware of 360-degree ideas where each and every segment that is important and that needs a budget. So first you should have a list of those segments. Then you should do a right competition study where I specifically mentioned locally and globally, because local presence and global presence nowadays both matters equally. So we'll see those 2 points later on the session in very detail. Let's jump on the third one. That is what plan for next 3 to 5 years. Now that's a very critical thing to understand, because generally, as far as I see and the studies says, people are just being concerned about next 2 years of their business plan, and that 2 years will not eventually lead to success, assured success of your business, because In traditional management theory, they says any business needs 999 days to just to reach to break even, and we are not even considering the break even point, but we should consider the growth period as well, because when your business is ideally in the introduction phase, you should think of having it on to the growth phase, and you should keep your growth phase as longer as possible, then transitioning it to the maturity. So that's what is very much important, that you should plan for 3 to 5 years, because if you plan for 2 years, then you probably will ended up to introduction phase only, and then for growth phase you again need to plan something. There might be some changes from the previous plan you did, because in technology, in marketing techniques, in penetration techniques, are nowadays there are a lot of things that is completely being changed in quarter by quarter, or say month by month, because there are new technologies are coming, there are new techniques are coming. For example, initially there are few languages like normal PHP, normal .NET, and nowadays very dedicated e-commerce frameworks and dedicated frameworks for dedicated industries have come into the market. Same as in marketing, initially online marketing is only acknowledgeable through the SEO, but now there is no SEO. There is an ad platform, there is an PPC platform, there are a hell lot of platforms available. So this way how the market has grown up itself. You should grow you, even you want to grow your business to that level, so for that you should plan for at least next 3 to 5 years, because if you plan for next 3 to 5 years, you can identify the gaps of post 2 years. You can identify the right approach selection earlier than the others. This is the most important thing. Earlier than the others is the most important, because you always want to be ahead in the race with your competitors, or with your uh, business segment, where your customers are always wanting something best than others. So that's how you should plan your business. Then the most important thing is product pricing methodologies. You should price your products wisely, so that your product can be easily consumed by the consumers. We'll again see this topic in detail in the upcoming session. Then you should think of market penetration, because either you could have a premium quality products, either you could have bulk products, either you could have discounted products to begin with, either you bear something at initial phase. There are a lot of market penetration techniques which can help you to identify right customer segment, and to give them the best value uh, for their money. So for identification of market penetration techniques, you should first understand what customer segments you would be going to address, whether it's a general volume based customers, whether it's a premium segment of customers, or a combination of both. Then effective business models even play a vital role in uh, success of your business, because as we just saw that Metafab failed. They have right marketing strategies, they have budget, they have people to work, they have everything, but they do not have right business model, just how every other efforts fail in vain. So you should think of the 6 points effectively just to kickstart your businesses. Now let's learn how and what could be your plan to have right techniques in terms of software, right techniques in terms of pricing, what could be your budget, how should you differentiate your budget, and vice versa. So let's understand the major segments where actual budgeting is needed. I have identified some of them, and these are the common ones for every business industry. So first one is online presence, where it could be your e-store, it could be your website, something. Because ultimately that e-store and website is your real brand identity, what customers look in terms of your brand. So whatever you represent your as your e-store, your customers will look or will understand your potential, your services, your capabilities, or judge will customers will judge your capacities via your online presence or e-store. And nowadays, as you guys are dealing in web to print solutions, so personalization is one of the key areas. So you should have a very good personalization software. Not only the personalization software, but also the customer engagement software plays a role where you should track your customers from where they are coming, where they are stucking in between. Uh, did they reach to the exit point safely, or they lost out in between? And you will help them via pop-ups or something. They'll guide them to the exit gate eventually. So those softwares are nowadays very useful, and you should allocate some portion of your budget to those customer engagement softwares as well. Now the important point is, as Bhavin mentioned, that businesses fail because of improper planning. So in that improper planning, UX driven customer journey plans are the we can say the most important plans. Because website to build a website is a very easy task, but to build a UX driven website is a tedious job. Needs uh, complete market research, complete user experience research, because of a website can be differed from its customer segments. For example, if you are dealing in a volume driven customer segment, then your UX could be adjustable to generalized set of customers. If you are dealing in a premium set of customers, your website UX should be rich and suitable to the premium market segment. Now, once you done with those 4 points, your store is ready, your brand identity is ready. Now the next task is let that brand come across the users. So that's where digital marketing helps. Digital marketing's not only the SEO, but there are different channels. One, maybe the social medias, maybe the advertisement platforms, maybe the pay-per-click models. There are very marketing strategies available. For example, outdoor advertisement could be nowadays very much in boom. So there are very much possibilities of various ways of digital marketing that you should you should pick to your businesses, and you should you know have an equilibrium of technology and marketing allocation, because technology is even important. Then that's how, again, marketing is more important. Now you should think of inventory and shipping, whether your products has been managed by you, or maybe managed by your vendors, or maybe managed by your suppliers. So you should think of, if you are managing, then you should think of inventory and shipping budgeting as well. Now initially depends on your marketing penetration techniques. You should think of offers and sale which you are running initially to gain more customers. Maybe um, giving some offers, giving some discounts, cashbacks, reward points. There are various methods, but eventually, initially, they need a budget. Then, as Bhavin mentioned, the customer support is one of the most crucial area, and generally, people or business owners do not focus on that customer support that much. They do have a channel where people can reach to us, but that channel is even somewhere not streamlined. So eventually, if your customer service is good, eventually you'll earn the loyalty of your customers. Your customer retention ratio will ultimately be good. If customer retention ratio will be good, you will have new orders from the existing customers, and that's how your business cycles will go. And there could be such many more segments where budgeting is needed, but these are the generalized where budgeting is sure needed, and right allocation is even required. So to allocate a budget to each and every segment, there is no standard methodology because it varies from your business ideas to business ideas, because any each business ideas should require its own market research, its own competition analysis, its own penetrations, its own budgeting, its own planning. So everything differs from ideas to ideas. So let's learn how actually competition study you should think of. So in the competition study, you should identify local and global competitors, where you compete with locally and where you compete with globally. But most important thing is you should never ignore offline giants, because offline giants are the toughest competitors you may have ever come across, because still it's an online era. Still many people has a dilemma to follow that offline model is still best than the online. So now it's our goal to give those non-tech savvy persons a wonderful and easy user experience from which they can continue their shopping, and they can have the same experience they may having from the online offline channels. Next, you should think of what products you should offer. Correct product offerings will eventually lead you to success of your business. For example, if your products are too general, then you will end up in a toughest competition. If your products are too rare, then you will end up in a desert area where no one is come, or a very rare persons are come to buy your products. So it should be an equilibrium of general products and the rare products. The general products gives you the volume, and rare products will gives you the profit. Then your pricing should be competitive enough to penetrate in the market and survive in the market in the initial era of your business, because initial 6 months or initial year of an era is very crucial for any uh, business to survive. That's how competitive pricing can help you to survive. This is one of the factor, not the only factor, because sometimes people say my price is very much competitive. That's how my business should survive, but that's not the right reason. Now, going ahead, proper market penetration, as I say, either you should go ahead with wholesale, either if you are offering premium quality products, then you should offer premium quality services. That could be one of the marketing penetration. So, market penetration techniques could be identified through your unique sellable points. What are your unique sellable points with the quality, with the variety, with the specialization, or something else? But you should identify what your specialty of the era, where your business can survive longer than others. So ultimately, right competition study helps you in decision making of allocating right budget to your right segment. Because if you identified all of these things, you'll eventually understand which segment needs which budget. Because if you identified a competition and you found that there is a technological competition, then you should invest more in technology. You found there is competition in presence, then you should invest more in marketing. Or you found there is a tough competition in terms of variety of players are available, then you should invest more in market penetrations and offers and sales and etc. So these are the few things. But to kickstart a business, there are two things, majorly two things that eventually helps in the neve, in keeping the neve of success business model. So one, proper selection of a software, also in proper budget. Not, it is not likely to be advised that you should go ahead with premium softwares all the time. No, because whatever your requirement, you should go ahead and use that software only. Because sometimes many business people are in dilemma that only premium technical solution is the only way to success a business. No, that's not true. that will help you at some extent, but that is not the right choice to do and go ahead. So let's learn how you should choose your right software and how you should decide what budget you should invest on software solution, because software is one of the key uh, parameter when you are dealing in terms of online business. So first you should identify traffic, where a lot of market research helps you to understand which type of traffic you will be getting, which customer segments you will be getting, where are you located or where your services will be offered, that region, that territory, that locality, that customer segment, all of them will eventually lead to understand your traffic. You should, and even you should categorize your traffic predictions to low, medium, high category. Then you should, as you understand your traffic, you should come up with data storage prediction as well, that how much data storage you need to run your online business efficiently. Then based on traffic, even you can identify your average sales per month or per quarter, or depends on the frequency or type of products you offer, because if you are offer quick selling products, then it should be monthly or maybe bi-weekly. And if you are selling some manufactured or long time taking products, then you should think of quarterly sales prediction also. Now, technology stack selection is even more important. As Bhavin mentioned, that you should think of which technology is best suitable for you, e-commerce, whether e-commerce is concerned, either Magento, or Shopify, or WooCommerce, or any other latest JS-based technologies. You should think of that which should be right. And if you don't have any idea, and if you are not a tech-savvy person, you should have consultation from anyone nearer you who knows that in technical details what should be the right technology stack. After identifying this four, the fifth one you should identify is correct business model selection, because correct business model is very much important. Whether you should choose to go B2C, if you can able to handle every order of your platform, either you should go with marketplace, either we should go to deal with other businesses directly. So B2C, B2B, marketplace could be one of the correct business model solutions for you. Now, in terms of pricing, we'll learn how you should price your businesses. But for example, if you have priced X amount, then your pricing, your break even, and your profit statement should be clearly predicted before you invest in terms of any software or in terms of starting your businesses, because eventually that will lead to understand from when you should expect your ROI, where your break even is, and how easily you can reach to them, what eventually will gonna help you to reach there, by technology, by marketing, anything. So these are the things you should choose via keep in mind consideration while choosing the software. Now let's quickly look at, because this is the most common questions I have come across while dealing with multiple customers, and I'm sure this might be the questions: why uh, what model should I choose, whether should I go on cloud or whether should I go on premise. So I try to justify both the platforms equally. So let's look at one by one. The businesses should use cloud model if they are a startup and not sure what should be the done and how step by step they are figuring out in an agile manner. Then they should go ahead and purchase cloud model. If you are not tech savvy and don't want such a headache to manage e-store, or if you want a expert tech partner to manage everything on your behalf, if you are an enthusiast entrepreneur and trying businesses all around and trying your hands in different businesses, if you think to grow with the market, let's say if you're thinking that I invest little, earn little, invest more, a bit more, and earn big. So that's how, if your vision is to grow steadily, then you should invest in cloud. And as I mentioned, you should identify your traffic and categorize it into low, high, and medium. And if you have identified the traffic could be to low to medium traffic from predictions, you should go ahead with this cloud model. And this is a pattern. So you should identify the pattern here, and then you should predict what could be the others where I could use the cloud models. Now, for on-premise model, that eventually say it's a lifetime license because you own the ownership of the software for if you choose for on-premise model. If you are an established business already, if you are tech savvy and have your team with you, if you can manage the growth changes within your team, if you have a brilliant unique business ideas, may have investors, if you want to boom in the market, if you have identified medium to right traffic from the predictions, such pattern you can follow when you want, when you should go ahead and discuss on-premise model. So that's how the clarity begins, where you should go ahead with a cloud model, or whether you should go ahead with an on-premise model. But the most important portion of the section, or for this webinar, is coming up now, because now we understand that what should be the challenges, what could be the solution, how I should plan my business, what should I need to take care of, how should I budget properly, how should I choose the softwares, choose the software models. Now it's time to learn whether you settle down with cloud or on-premise model. You set up your marketing plans, you set up your technology plans, you set up your in-house operational plans, customer support plans, and everything. But now the most important thing is your medium of your earning. Your medium of your earning is from your products, and the products ultimately depends on the sales of it, and the sales will eventually happen when you price it right. So let's look at the pricing factor, how you should price your product. Before looking to the exact pricing, let's understand what could be the elements that justify your pricing, whether you have priced X amount to particular product. Now, which are the parameters that justify your price? For example, if you have, you should have at least 10% of unique products. That helps in justification, because that unique products will be available with a few of the competitors, or maybe to you only. So that eventually helps you to justify the price. Better customer service is always be a USP of yours that helps your justification, your a bit higher price. Always a variety of a solution, a variety of products, or specialization to products, or combination of both will eventually helps you to justify uniqueness or variety, and that eventually helps you to justify the price. Now, how I should derive pricing for my products? So first you should understand what product type you are having, whether you are having ready to sell products, whether you are having manufacturing products, whether you are having products that is already in tough competition, or whether you are doing something that is in demand. So let's start with competitive pricing. So how competitive pricing is works, because if you have a ready to sell price, then your pricing should be competitive to your competitors. Now, your competitor should be from local, from global, from anywhere else. So you may describe competitive pricing differently for locals, differently for global. But competitive pricing simply can be derived via competition study, or finding the direct competitor, understanding the price. For example, they are dealing with Y prices. You may uh, go ahead straight and just give the price Y minus something, and your competitive pricing is ready. But it is not advisable to go ahead with competitive pricing until and unless you should not have uh, anything else to offer, either from specialization, either from uniqueness, either any other USPs if you have, then it is advisable you should not go with the competitive pricing, because competition is always tough to handle, rest others are not. Second, second is cost plus pricing. So what is cost plus pricing? It is very simple and straightforward pricing, and many of the businesses are using this pricing. So where cost of a particular manufacturing product is identified, we'll add some markup profit margin over it, define the price, and put that into the sale. But cost plus pricing eventually could be your base price, but not the final price, because cost plus pricing should have an competitive angle, should have a markup angle, and should have a demand angle as well. So cost plus pricing can be very easy to derive, but yet not very effective. Then markup pricing. So markup pricing could be it's a type of competitive pricing only, but it changes depends on the sales you perform, because ultimately it calculates based on the revenue you earn, the sold goods cost you have, or the number of units you sold. So based on that, for example, if your frequency of sales graph is very high, then you should think of changing markup pricing quarterly. If the graph is frequently changing, then you should think of either bi-weekly or monthly, or you should set up some automation in pricing according to the competition and according to the markup value you decided. Majorly markup pricings are used in wholesale to, because they are always having such kind of range pricing, where they need to make sure the max profit they need, and they want to assure the max profit. That's how they use market pricing, to justify the effective range in terms of competition and in terms of their spike in their manufacturing cost. Now, the most important and most complex pricing method is demand pricing, because it is very effective pricing, but yet very complex and yet very risky. Because where the demand is, to understand the perfect demand, you need to have constant and continuous market research and competition research. First, you should understand first where your demand D1 is, where how it transits to D2, whether it is on higher side, whether it is on lower side, what frequency of demand you are considering, weekly, bi-weekly, daily, monthly, yearly even. So depending on that Q1 to Q2 transition, your pricing could be P1 to P2. So that is a very complex method, but yet very effective, because demand is something you could earn max of the profit, and demand is not something that demand is higher than you should go higher, demand is lower than you should go lower. But in addition to that, you should understand, because sometimes this demand pricing is also known as consumer based pricing. You treat each and every consumer as an individual, and can have the pricing differ from each and every customer. So the most benefit of that pricing is you should be able to understand, and you should be able to identify the pocket side of your customer, and you should be able to charge max worth your solution. So that's, there are multiple other pricings. They say, let's say product scheming is there, penetration pricing is there, but that those pricing models were less used or rarely used. These pricing models are used majorly, but what you should use is a hybrid model. What could be the hybrid model? Your hybrid model could be cost plus as a base, then you should add a competition angle to it. You should mark up your price on different intervals, where your markup could be depending on the demand curve you identify. So by combining an hybrid approach of this four, could lead you to a major success. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? So if you are confused, please don't be. Please don't be confused. Let brush your ideas do the job for you, and I'll invite Bhavin to take it further and explain you how brochure ideas will help you in this certain scenarios. Yes, Bhavin.
Thank you, Jay. It was really insightful. So yes, here it is now to tell you that how brochure ideas can really help you on each and every area. So the very first thing which I would like to tell you is we brochure ideas act as a one-point solution. So here, coming to brochure ideas, you can get all the solutions which you really require to make your business successful or to implement your business model. So here it is that there are different sort of experts in our company. The very first tells you that industry experts with trending solution. So our experts can help you to decide what are the demanding solutions on the market, what are the trending solutions, and with what solution you can get to a success reach. So that can eventually end up getting a better user experience or a better way to do the business. The second is marketing experts. So here we also have our own marketing team and marketing experts, which helps our customers to derive the marketing strategies, to analyze their products, and to decide how and what sort of budget would be required in terms of putting on the marketing side and promoting the products. The third is very important, as explained by Jay, that is the UI and UX, which should be very seamless for the customer journey. So yes, many of customers do not take care, many of business owners do not take care of this factor, and they build their website traditionally. But if you are having a UX driven approach, then that can help you to give a better customer journey to your end customers, whoever are visiting your store. The last but not the least, that is the expert business consultant. So if you are confused anywhere and if you want to have a consultancy with what technology you should go with your catalog or with your business model, what solution would work, whether you need to go with on premise or on cloud, whatever confusion you have, our business consultants would be helping you there after understanding your business needs and your business requirements, and that would eventually help you to overcome all of your challenges. Jay, can you please go to next slide? On top of this, these are the offerings and the solutions brochure ideas have. So the very first tells you that we have a product design tool, that is a personalizing software which can have on your website. As you know that in the current situation on the web to print, all the websites have a personalizing software wherein a customer can come online, they can design the product by themselves, and they can place an order. The admin would receive the output files which they can use for further printing. So that helps to make the complete process automated, and there you can save a lot of manual labor which you might have if you are going with the offline system or doing all the task manually. Then there is native mobile application. So yes, we also offer the native mobile application which is built in Android and iOS. So if you are having a website ready, you can have a mobile application from us which would be natively built in Android and iOS. So you can have your own mobile application for your web store. Then there is product configurator. So yes, this is also very important for the business owners who are into manufacturing. If they are allowing their customers to build the product online, let's say there is a shoes, if you want to allow a customer to come online and make a shoes, like choosing sole type, choosing what type of lace they want, choosing what leather material they want, and on top of it, if they want to make any design or place any logo or any elements, then this product configurator can really help you there. So that is also with us. A self customizable store. So if you want to just simply kickstart your business and looking for a website, then we have a self customizable store wherein you can easily customize whole store by yourself, and you can start your business in a very short period of time. You do not need to wait for a lengthy duration to make the website developed, but it's just kickstart to start your business. Then we have complete end-to-end solutions. So if you are into this business and if you are already well established, you might be having a lot of orders on day-to-day basis, and you are also having the after sales processes to be managed properly. So in that case, even we have a complete end-to-end solution beginning with the website and ending till the order processing, we can help you with that complete solution. You can channelize all the processes very seamless, and that can help you to make the process very professional for all of your teammates who are working with you. Then we also do have the third party integration. So let's say if you want to have an integration of any third party systems with your web to print store with your design tool, then we can help you with the third party integration. Let's say you want to integrate the CRM, or you want to integrate any third party image libraries, then this can really help you there. Variety of products supported. So yes, our design tool is not just limited with one range of product. If you are having our design tool, then you can have variety of products. It's not just limited with one category of product. Our product is made, our design tool is made in a very dynamic form, so it can work with variety of products, and that's how you can have variety of products on your store, and that can be offered to your customers as well. Integration with any CMS. So if you're having your website built in any e-commerce frameworks or any CMS, then we can integrate our solution very seamlessly, as we have the integration systems ready in place, and that can be directly plugged in, and the solution can be integrated. Specialized mini print ERP. So yes, if you are looking for an ERP system to manage all of your print jobs, your inventory, your print files, and all other elements which are really crucial to handle, then we have this complete ERP solution as well for you. The last is a robust API. So if you are having a website built in any custom framework or built with PHP or any other technology, that's not a roadblock for us. Our solution can be easily integrated with your website as well, as we do have robust APIs in place. Through that, it can be easily integrated. And this all solutions are available in both the ways. So you can either have it on cloud, on your cloud, or else you can also have it on your own servers. So here is the contact information. If you are confused anywhere, or if you need any of help to make your business successful or to implement your business, then please feel free to reach out to us. Here is our contact information, as well as the email IDs on which you can put up the email and reach out to us. Our business consultant would take you forward and help you to discuss your requirement in detail and evaluate all the aspects in detail, so we can further help you with the solutions. Yes, so now we should start with the question and answer, because I can see that there are a lot of questions. So Jay, is it good time to take up the questions which are here?
Yeah, yeah. Let's take up those questions. Uh,
Okay.
Initially,
So the
let's.
very first question is from Jack. They have asked that should I need to have high budget to start my online business to overcome the risk?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the question.
Okay. So, to answer this question, very simple answer of the question is no. You should not need it to have a high budget. Calculated budget is always required, because calculated budget will always gives you the assurance of success. If you over budget yourself in somewhere, there will always be a pressure on you to repay in a certain timeline, or if you under budget it, and then it will not bring the desired outcome, you know whatever you desired in terms of your business, or whatever ROI you are expecting. It should be planned from each and every angle, so that ultimately your businesses will not suffer due to budget, will not suffer due to pricing element, will not suffer due to any other planning mismatches or anything else. So that's that is always a planning, that is always a calculation required. Yeah, that's always required.
Okay. So the second question is from Kinjal, that how much should I allocate to marketing? So ideally, you should allocate 10 to 20% of your complete budget, though it always depends on the market penetration techniques. which you are going with. Let's say if you are starting with a sale and discount to penetrate larger market, then it can be more than 20% of investment towards the marketing budget. On the other hand, if you are relying mainly on organic traffic, then and lead generation, then it can be less. So it completely depends upon the strategy, but ideally it should be around 10 to 20% of your complete budget.
Yeah, perfect. So I hope Kinjal and Jack, we did a right answer to you. If you have further questions, you can write in chat. We'll talk further. Let's take up another question which we have from Steven. Steven asked that which pricing model should I use to realize business ideas? Yes, Steven, it's a very interesting question, and as I mentioned, it is strictly depends on the business model or the business idea that you are following. But what my personal advice is to have more than one pricing model with you dedicatedly. You should start with cost plus pricing, then you should add competitive angle to it, then you understand the demands of your market, have some portion of the demands attached with pricing, and that eventually that derives you a pricing. That pricing you should mark add that you should add or update frequently, depends on the frequency of the orders you receive. That's how the hybrid model of pricing will always help you and saves you from different failures or different roadblocks. For example, if you only rely on any one, the other angle will be missing. So to have each and every angle, but the major angle could be either one of them, and rest of them could be as a secondary angle. And if you still not finding it so good, and if you are in manufacturing or if you are in ready, then you should either go with competitive, or you should go ahead with cost plus pricing, because rest two pricing are a bit uh, tough, bit complex, and need some expert to deal with it.
Then there is a question of Umang, that don't you think further consultation eventually adds up more cost to the budget? Well, yes, but it also adds more assurance of your success, and it reduces the risk and failures. So, here it depends on you whether you want to roam around the risk zone or you want to be inside an assurance zone. And if you don't find any right person or firm for this, you can always reach out to us, where our experts would be helping you to decide what you need to do. And according to your business, they would be helping you to consider the right solution.
Yeah. If you still have any questions, anyone of you have still any questions, we do have 2 to 3 more minutes. We can adhere those questionnaires over here. Elsewhere, you can see the book personalized demo button. You should go ahead and click this button and request personalized demo and book your free personalized demo with us, so that our experts, as Bhavin mentioned, will be getting in touch with you and will drive through each and every aspects or each and every requirement you have.
Yes. Please ask if you have any questions or any doubts around. You're welcome, Gary.
Yeah. Okay. You do have our contact details, so feel free to reach us anytime if you want any consultation. Uh, Meanwhile, we'll be coming up with one more interesting topic. This time, the topic could be around some technicality of printing industry. So it will be again one more interesting topic for you. So stay tuned, stay safe. And keep connecting with us. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. It is always good to have all of you to be here and part of here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care.